Hello everybody. So I know it's early, no notifications, sorry about that. But I wanted to share this little video with you because it's kind of an opportunity that just kind of came up, so I wanted to shoot a real quick video. We're at the brand new Lincoln Electric Weld School. This school is insane, off the chain. Let's get a shot right there. It is a brand new weld school. It is completely amazing. I'm still wearing short sleeves here. It is actually snowing. So sorry about that. I'm not sure if you can actually, they're still doing some construction here, actually quite a bit still to do, but it's fully operational for students. This is the lobby of the new weld school. Completely amazing. They have a red zone. You can buy your red apparel inside right here. Buy all kinds of gear right here inside the weld school. I'm digging some of their apparel. It's totally cool. They are giving homage to the old AC-225 tombstone welder. It is very it's very reminiscent for me because at 13 that's what I used my lawn mowing money to buy, my very first welding machine. But you can buy welding hoods, you can buy a lot of your consumable type stuff, welding jackets. Very cool feel in here, very open. We'll come back out here. Here's my buddy Charlie LaRich.
What's up, Jim? How you doing?
Say hi to everybody.
Hello, everybody.
That's one of the best welding instructors possibly ever. I might be a little partial, but Charlie and I we've been to battle a few times in the welding world.
Yes, we have been.
So we're going to go inside the weld school. They'll have a cafeteria in here. They can feed everybody. Down this way is where the weld school is. We'll wind up there in a minute. But what I want to do is, how can we get upstairs, Charlie? There's stairs.
Follow me.
So we're gonna.
What, you want to ride on the elevator?
No, I gotta ride on the elevator. We'll go up the stairs. So we're gonna go upstairs because there's a really cool overhead view. So here, bathrooms. They have locker rooms for the guys to put all their gear in when they come out of the weld school. Right there is where they go in, but we're gonna go upstairs for a quick tour up. So a few facts, Charlie. Right now, 100 and how many booths are operational?
We have 160 booths operational. We have room to expand to take that even higher. And eventually, with all the technical training lab on the other side, when that's all done, we'll have about 250 booths altogether.
250 booths, and they have the power available to actually be able to weld 250 booths all at one time, which is pretty amazing. So we're coming through here, and
we're going through an office area here to get to the overhead view of the.
it is worth the walk, guys. Hang on, this view is impressive. As you can see, still under construction. Everything's not completely done. We're going to go through a little office housekeeping area here to get to the super cool overhead view. So be patient. So this is all your fume extraction, right, Charlie?
Yeah, all the way down. It's all fume extraction for each row. Every time you see a column, that's a row that's coming out where they're sucking the fume out.
So this is all fume extraction for the weld school. Let me get you a sneak peek here while we're over here in the corner. So these are all weld booths, and these are all students that can weld in here all at the same time. It is totally amazing. Brand new, state of the art. Every booth has their gases all plugged into the booth. Fume extraction in every booth, lighting in every booth. When a guy starts to weld in a particular weld booth, it automatically senses the arc and turns just the fume extraction for that booth on. So it's a very low noise level in here. It's not real loud, which is, if you've ever been in a weld school, is incredible. Plus, everybody that the gas is hard plumbed into each booth, but they can they can have individual gases in there without having to bring in actual tanks of mixed gases and whatever.
You can sit doing a demo in the next row over here.
Yeah, let's go over here real quick. So there's teaching stations. So in between all these weld booths is a teaching station. The instructor in there is instructing a bunch of students on the particular process they're learning. It's really, really cool. They have a computer in there, a little monitor they can demo, and then the students can come out in this individual rows here and practice what they're doing. And as you can see, there's many, 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 many booths in here with expansion possibilities for a whole lot more. Do we need to go that way, or do we need to turn around and come
We
back?
come back down this way here, it'll be easier to get out.
Okay. So, not a lot more to see. I just wanted to bring you in here. You want to go that way? All right, cool, whatever. Rob Jones, it is amazing, man. It is. I know I didn't give you guys a bunch of heads up that we were going to do this, but when they brought us here to show it to you, I was like, man, I got to show everybody this because it's brand new, state of the art. They have virtual welding here, cuts down on the consumables, cuts down on the amount of material to get a guy where he can lay a decent bead down, the cost way down.
So all these booths over here, that's all our ASME pipe welding.
So this is all pipe welding right here?
Yeah.
So all these guys are pipeliners in training. They're all learning to pipe train. And the school is not up to full speed yet. And then right here, this is sub-arc. This is all submerged arc welding. No, it's not underwater welding. Submerged arc, for those who don't know, is a very high deposition rate weld done under a flux powder. So they can, if you look over here at this weld booth, you see they have 3 feeders running in on that one machine. Each one of those power units is 1,000 amps. So they can run up to 3,000 amps of like 1/4-inch wire all into the same weld bead, like a wide weld groove for real thick plate, and deposit huge amounts of material in a single pass. So that's 3,000 amps they possibly could run in a single pass.
Sorry, we got
So
to go that way. I forgot that leads out to an area.
They're not done with that? Yeah,
We
okay.
can't go down that
That's
that
cool.
way.
That's cool. We can go back. Well, I wanted them to see sub-arc anyway. So submerged arc is not underwater welding. The actual weld puddle is submerged under flux. Underwater welding is a completely different thing. And yeah, it would be a little difficult. So again, these are all fume extraction. You don't even hear them running. It's amazing how quiet they are. All the filter banks for the weld school here. This is the longest continuing running weld school, although it is a brand new building. It's the longest continuous running weld school in the world.
In our 101st year.
101 years of
1917
teaching people to
we started.
weld. So it's pretty crazy. I'll go back here. So this building is not even finished, right? How long was the other built? How long were people in the other weld
That
school?
building's over there. It's been there since 1953, 54.
53 or 54. And where was the weld school before?
It was downstairs in that building. Then they brought it upstairs in 1982 to where it was at previously. Now we're over here.
It
But
is
the other original
truly
school probably
impressive.
in the Coit Road in the old building where we started out at.
Hey Charlie, you know what?
What?
I think it started to snow when I was out there. I get to see snow.
Then we got to see snow.
I'm from Florida. It never snows in Florida.
Take some back and send me some sunshine, please.
I'll send you all the hot, sweaty mugginess. I'll take some of your snow. So we're going back down where we came from, guys. Trying to move so it's not too slow and boring for you, but we're gonna actually go out into the weld school floor now. There's some other really just kick-ass stuff. So it is a little noisier out there. We got a lot better audio in here. So a couple things I want to explain to you about welding. Different welding machines have different characteristics. Hold on, Charlie, real quick. And guys who have to pass field tests for like pipeline welding, it's difficult to learn on a machine in a lab and then go out in the field and pass that test. So what they've done here, and I'm going to take you over here in a minute, but I want to explain before we go out where it gets loud. They have a whole bank of engine drive machines that are running outside. Leads come into the weld school. How many engine drives do they have running? Like 12 or 15?
12, I believe, yeah, 12 or 15.
So there's 12 engine drive welding machines, engine powered welding machines for field work. They're running outside, leads come inside, and the students can actually learn on the machine they're going to have to take their field test on. That's a next level of cool, because a guy just had to do it on his own before. It was very, very difficult to do that before. So we'll turn the camera around. We're about to go out this door to get a little louder with everybody grinding, taking their pipe tests and stuff. I'll try to blow through here, but I want to show you guys some of the stuff. It's really, really, really cool. Where's the Vertex room? Is the Vertex room, the virtual room, was it back upstairs?
They're still waiting for Vertex to come in.
Well, there was a room we just went in and had a Vertex in.
Yeah.
I'll show you the guys this before we go out there real quick. This is...
All classrooms have a Vertex.
So let's turn the camera around here. So this is a virtual reality welding machine. I'll just show it to you real quick. Even though it looks like it's in a 275 or 375 case, it's actually just a computer they put in the case. This is a virtual welding hood. And so there's a little screen inside. Student puts the hood on, right? He puts the hood on, has the very similar weight to what he's gonna wear in real world. He can see, the classroom can see up there what he's doing. He comes over here and he can do MIG and stick, right?
Yes.
So he has all different process, MIG, stick, he can do. What he sees, the teacher can point out and give him on-screen cues. Actually, that's the stick thing?
That's the stick one, yes. And it retracts back while you're welding, so that simulates like you're actually burning the rod.
Cool. So, looks like some students are getting here for their day of learning. But what's neat about that for VOTEC schools and small schools that don't have a big budget is, you know, so it costs a lot of money for consumable materials to teach kids to weld, teach, you know, young adults, even older age adults who want to learn a new skill to weld. Gets the cost way, way, way down. You need to see a demo. Guys, I don't have time for a demo because I got a bus that's taking me back, but I do want to pass it on. There are other YouTube stuff out there already. You can see demos on the Vertex. It's called the Vertex. So they also have all the stuff for teaching the class for TIG. Like this is for TIG. So every student can hold a TIG torch. They can have all their consumables that they need, put the torch together, understand how the torch works. Same with stick. Students can put their hands on that. Same with MIG. There's a big MIG gun. Oxy-fuel, plasma, the plasma consumables. So when the teacher is in this class, the teacher can actually put everything minus the big long power lead and everything in a student's hand. They can see how the torch goes together, how it comes apart, learn to troubleshoot problems before they ever get out here. That's huge for the cost of teaching people to weld. Mike Rowe, eat your heart out. This is exactly what you and a lot of us have been saying for a long time. We need to get trades back. College is great, but we need people who can build stuff. We're gonna go front camera right now. So we're back in the weld school right now. And if you see in the weld school, row after row after row of booth. A few minutes ago when we were upstairs, we were up there on that mezzanine level. There is my buddy, Ryan Ubig. Say hi to YouTube. You are live on YouTube. This is my buddy for everybody. This guy can howl like a blue tick hound and it sounds like a real dog. It's crazy. This stupid human tricks, but it is amazing. That guy is one of the best welding instructors besides Charlie I know. I've worked with that guy a lot too over the years. So let's, are we gonna work our way back? Is that how we're gonna do it?
Back to the API area.
Okay, we're gonna go around. How are we gonna go there? I'm trying to stay away from there.
These are all the ASME rows, vertical up pipe. They have a 4-week program they go through. They do all positions. Right now they're working in the 5G position. Next week they'll go to 6G. Then they have a 2-week advance where they do 2-inch extra heavy thick wall pipe and a TIG groove or stick weld they want to do.
Trying to get where the camera will show. So if you can see this guy, he's got his pipe up overhead. He's standing right there. I don't know if the camera will show it. And he's welding in an uphill position over the top of the pipe. So a few minutes ago, there was a guy down here on the ground. He was actually laying in his booth on the ground, welding overhead. And so all these booths are set up to let every student practice every position he needs to pass his certification test. And you guys have almost 100% placement out of the school, right?
Pretty much, yes.
Yeah, I know it's not easy to see when they're in that weld booth. I get it. The shields are there to protect everyone from the arc. So This is where they teach the guys to weld with engine drives over here. I open that door right there, Charlie.
Yeah, we'll go up there, yeah.
So in here, all these guys are learning pipeliners. They're all learning to weld pipeline. And like I said, it's really important to learn because the arc characteristic is different on an engine drive machine. So all these engine drive machines out here, if you look, all their power cables, and they are remote, that's what the green wire is. They could remotely control the settings from inside, but all these engine drives out here are running, giving these guys a real world scenario of what they're gonna have to weld in the field. Another really cool shot is they generate their own electricity. And I'm not sure that you can tell them how massive that thing is in the video, but that thing is huge. And they're making all their own power here for the weld school, or partial power.
At the highest point, that is 433 feet.
That's 433 feet to the top of the tips from where we're standing. Also, what else is cool is they have the diesel pumps right here, so they can just fill all the machines with a reel. That's pretty awesome.
And also, if a guy shows up with his own rig over here, he can back his truck up, he can hook his rig up to our leads, and he can weld in here with his own machine.
So I'm not sure if you can hear him, I'll repeat that. He said if a guy has a particular rig that he welds with, he's got to certify, he can bring his rig right up here to the school, pull the leads off the lead box here, plug his machine in, and get certified here in the school off his own machine. So these are all the guys learning pipe fitting here. Can we look in that booth real quick?
Yeah.
So this is basically the setup. He can adjust that arm up or down. That's fume control there. His leads come in from here. He can move this arm with the pipe setup up, down. He can lay on his back. He can get it up high where he can do overhead. Carl Hose.
Yeah, man.
This is my... All right, guys. Hey, I'm sorry. It probably is some high frequency interference or something that happened here in the weld school. We don't know what exactly happened, but the stream stopped. I hope you guys can pick back up where we left off. If not, check it should be a continuous video when we're done. We're here in the weld school. I'm going to turn it around. I want to show you what some of these guys are doing. So this guy is learning his pipe. He's on the ground. That's part of his weld test to be able to weld in that position. A little while ago, he was laying on his back on the ground welding overhead, which is also part of the weld position. So if we're doing big pipe, they have their pipe stands. They can adjust the pipe all up and down, get all the pipe lined up. All of these students are in here learning. Keep going. I don't want to. Well, you know what? Let's come over here. So one more cool thing. This is the plasma cutting station. These are all set up with oxy-fuel downdraft tables. All these folks can learn to plasma and oxy-fuel cut right in here while they're cutting. They have a prep area when these guys have to come over and grind out their welds, grind out the slag, re-prep for the next pass on their weld. They can set their coupons here. This is submerged arc. I'll walk over here with submerged arc. So in submerged arc, just because a lot of people don't get the opportunity to see stuff like that, that's an AC/DC 1000 amp power supply. That's another 1000 amp power supply. So there's two, one on top of the other. And these are the feeder heads, which is basically a wire feeder like MIG. But just to give you an example of how big that wire is what size is that wire, Charlie? 1/4 inch?
I think that's 5/32.
So that's 5/32 filler. That looks like ground cable. And they put it under this flux powder, okay? And so there's a flux hopper here. The flux hopper drops flux out, like where your normal MIG gas would come. That wire running at up to 1000 amps will deposit a very high deposition weld. And just to let you see how big that of material they're going to run. They can run multiple heads. Like here, they've run multiple heads in a single pass to deposit high amounts of material in. And they call that submerged arc because the arc is submerged under flux. And in some applications, they can actually recycle the flux back off and reuse the flux again. So let's keep going that way. This is truly, if you're a person of welding, it brings back hope for our country that we're training tradesmen again, because this is state of the art, and these guys are all in here after it. What's amazing is they have damn near 100% placement rate. When people come out of this school, they can go, as a young man, they can go right to welding and making a decent living. Booth after booth after booth. Some are MIG, some are stick, some are TIG. So these guys in here are all MIG. If you can see, he's got fume control going. It's drawing all his smoke right up out of here. It's very quiet in here. And then coming over here, this is the instructor booth I was telling about. So every row is a little bit different, but this instructor can set up here to teach all the students that are learning in this aisle. He can give them their hands-on learning. Here are people in here chipping out their welds. They're getting the slag off. And then they have weld positioners. They have everything in here. I mean, not often you can go where there's just bins of test material, your test coupons, recycle. You're gonna recycle all that stuff that's been done. And this just shows you what these guys are learning on. I mean, this stuff's no joke. This is probably 3/8. There's a whole bin of coupons for the students to learn on. You got chromoly? So this school teaches everything from the rare titanium, Inconel, chromoly. They have all of that here. More prep stations for them to prep their welds after they've either needed slag removal, to grind it out for their next pass, whatever the particular application is. So that's 4130 chromoly?
4130 chromoly. So we have a motorsports class, a basic and advanced. The basic at motorsports, we get into aluminum tubing, we got stainless tubing, mild steel. Now we come over here, we got the notcher.
Gotta speak loud, Charlie.
You can notch it out. So we can make the let's fit that together, so you're building a roll cage. And then we'll put a bung in here for your test, and we'll do a chromoly, we'll do a pull test on it, and you'll get a certificate from us that you passed a chromoly pull test.
I have that certification, by the way. NASCAR IndyCar certification pull test for chromoly tube chassis.
Motorsports class, we get into titanium, we get into Inconel, we get titanium tubing, magnesium. And in that class, we have you practice for a 5F test. We're in a fixed position, we weld up, vertical up on this, and that certification comes included in the class.
So you'll walk out of here certified?
It's an aerospace cert, yes.
So aerospace, you'll walk out of here an aerospace certified welder. So let me tell you a little bit about that guy right there. That's Carl Hose. Carl Hose is one of the people that I have a lot of admiration for. He not only can weld like a banshee, he has the technical background to back up basically everything. When he's explaining to you, he can tell you the metallurgy of why welding happens, why these certain processes happen. At Daytona, he comes to Daytona every year and backs up the NASCAR teams for when stuff goes wrong and they're trying to keep a car, you know, to stay in the points race. That man right there is helping those NASCAR teams, backing them up, welding their stuff for them so that the car can stay in. And he works for Lincoln, he's a Lincoln guy, but Lincoln supports all the race series. So I keep saying I'm gonna come down and visit him because he's not that far from me, and every year something happens that Carl and I never get to meet up. Carl, say hello to everybody. These are all my YouTube guys.
How you doing?
This guy, I promise you, has forgotten more about welding than I'll ever know. He has
about a lot of stuff already.
well, that happens with age, Carl. I realize some days I wake up, I'm not sure what day it was. So this is a truly amazing place here. That's why I wanted to take a minute and shoot this video, because you know, not a lot of people ever get to see this. All these bends, I guess, are waiting for scrap. No, they're scrap. So different levels of discipline for these guys as they're learning MIG aluminum, TIG aluminum. It's crazy to imagine that this is actually all put together to teach just people to weld, but that's how big the need is for good certified welders. I mean, you can walk out of this school, you know, making probably, you know, don't hold me to it, but you can probably walk out of this school making close to 100K a year as a certified welder, you know, depending on what job you can find, what area, whatever, because honestly, you know, there's a huge need for welders. The average age, I've been told, of a welder right now in the United States is around 67 years old. 67 years old, and the guys are still getting it every day, welding, making a living, and making good money because they've got a lot of experience. We need young people. We need young people to get into the trades. We need to rebuild the infrastructure of this country, and that's what Lincoln has tried to do here, to be ahead of the curve and start getting these guys trained, give anyone the opportunity to come here and weld. Classes, they told me, start around, I think, don't hold me to this, I want to say they said $300 for a class, all the way up for a full ride is like a little under 10K. But that you come out of here a fully certified welder. So that's, consider that what a college education costs, and you know, it's not really that much money if you look at a full ride, what a full ride to a 4-year university costs. Anyway, guys, thanks for sticking in there with me. I'm going to try to do some more live stuff with the other things going on this week. I know some of this stuff's impromptu, but as it pops up, I want to share it with you. A lot of people will never get the opportunity to see what we're seeing here because, you know, they just don't come to Cleveland or whatever. Any questions, comments, anything, please leave them down below. I'll do my best to answer them for you. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you real soon.